Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Karavavahai Tejasvinnavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We covered a lot of things in the previous session. Shravanam, the need for focused, live and engaged listening. Engaged listening is not engaging in how to interpret what you are listening while you are listening. That's not engaged listening. Engaged listening simply means you are fully engaged in listening. This we have to make clear. Otherwise, some other thoughts may come. What is engaged listening? And we saw that. That was one thing we saw. How one can become a little worn out and become a non-engaged listener, especially if one has been doing some shravanam for a length of time. A for Atma, yes, know it, been there, done that. B for Brahman, yep. C for Chit, know that too. D for Dharma, yeah. I can go on and on, but I think you get the idea. I know the ABCDs of Vedanta, I know all this, and I can go on a little mental trip. I can imagine so many things. In the mind, the body is here, but the mind is somewhere else. And then you tell yourself, I'll come back when the Mahavakya, the sentence that unfolds the identity between the jiva, the sad, bad, mad individual, and Ishvara, and the non-complaining Ishvara. When that thing comes together, when that identity is going to be revealed, I'll come back, I'll listen. But does that happen? No. Why? Because the little trips that the mind takes, these unauthorized trips, they become longer and longer. And that is, of course, known as, in the Shastra, as vikshepa, an inner projection, distraction, some kind of a issue with listening. Somehow the mind just strayed. It kind of asked your permission. You said, yes, go along. I'll also come along with you. It's interesting. It is called Manorajya. Panchadashikara, the author of the highly regarded text in Vedanta known as the Panchadashi, calls it Manorajya. Swami Vidyaranya calls it Manorajya, meaning a kind of a mental kingdom. You are gone there. And the problem with that is that you can't summon it back. Somehow it takes you away. And so we saw about the need for listening. We saw also why there is the need for listening, because there is too many purusharthas and, too many mistaken notions about what moksha is, what this spiritual quest is about. And that there is a connection between what we are doing here in the class and the freedom, that the inner freedom from sorrow and fear that I want, that is also not understood because one is basically a doer. I am a doer. And then what? And that becomes my undoing. This is what we know very, very well. And so there is a need for a certain soft alertness to be there in the quest. And perhaps this is the reason why the text that we are going to look at is called Vedanta Dindima. Dindima is an onomatopoeic word. What is this onomatopoeic word? A word that sounds exactly how it should sound. Like when you say gurgling brook. Gurgling means that gurgling is a sound and that it does make that gurgling sound. Gurgling brook, gurgling river, like that. Dindima. What does that sound feel like? Yeah, like a drum. The drum beat of Vedanta. The drum beat is very interesting. It's a percussion instrument. The percussion instrument in the form of the drum has many things that are relevant here to talk about. First of all, it keeps time. There is some kind. Yesterday, those who were present at the concert, anybody here? Yeah, so some of you were here at the concert. You saw that they kept time. You can't even go this way or that way. It keeps time, especially in music. Keeps time. And the drum also is pleasant. It's pleasant and it wakes you up. It's not pleasant like a chirping sound of a bird, but it is pleasant because there is something happening. I want to know what is going on there. In the ancient days, they did not have SMS, hurricane coming. The government could not tell a hurricane is coming and send a message to everybody's phone. Amber alert. Amber alert means somebody has made off. Somebody has done something bad and is on the lam, and they may be anywhere. And this is what the car looks like. Beware. Report. Automatically the cell phone message we get. In the olden days, the old-fashioned way was a big drum called a kettle drum. Dundubhi, something like that. Bheri, and so many names they had. Cow drum, handheld drum, kettle drum. And with 2 sticks, which was hung around the neck of the carrier. Not Verizon, okay? Yeah. Of the carrier means the person who is carrying the drum, and then he was called the town crier, and he would give the message. Hear one, hear all. Here is a message from Raja, Dhiraj, Maharaj, whatever the name was of that Raja. And then the drum would beat long enough and loudly enough till the townspeople could gather in that particular town. I mean, you don't have to reach every single door. Like a good sizable crowd gathers, then it will go from them to the other people. That was the idea, because the human chain is very reliable. And so then that drum roll would make people associate it with not something good, not something bad, but something very important. That even in rain, come rain or shine, the town crier is here even in inclement weather, meant that there was something very important to communicate. And here the drum beat of Vedanta has come to wake us up from the stupor of ajnanam, self-ignorance, and anyatha jnanam, wrong knowledge, misconceptions. So even if a small group gathers, the idea is the message will spread because it is not a secret. It is not it is very interesting because certain other places Vedanta is called a secret. Rahasya, Guhya. 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, for example, describes this knowledge as Rajaguhya, royal secret. And why is it a secret? It's a secret because nobody seems to know. What is the problem? They don't know. They are still crying. What is the solution also? They don't know. They are continuing to cry. And then it's a secret finally because even when it is told, people still don't know. It's still a secret. They still don't understand. It's an open book secret. Secret for want of adhikaritvam, preparedness. And this, in certain places it's called secret. Just like a mantra that the Guru gives, supposed to be a secret. Nobody should know, nobody should hear. And I should chant it by myself. So if Vedanta is like that, then already so few people interested. And then if it is a secret, then nobody will even know. Somehow it would be very difficult to communicate. And even the mantra is, ultimately not a secret. This is what the sage Ramanuja demonstrated. His guru gave him a mantra. And he said, don't tell it to anybody. It is Taraka mantra. Taraka means that which makes you cross samsara. This is just for you, okay? And he whispered it in the ear. Ramanuja, a young boy at that time, said, if it is Taraka mantra, if it is going to help everybody cross samsara, that means everybody should know. He ran from the teacher, went up on the roof of the teacher's own house, okay? And like the town crier said, come here everybody. The great Guru, my great Guru has given me a mantra and it's going to help me to prepare, it's going to prepare the mind to cross samsara. Come one, come all, listen to the mantra. The Guru said, are you out of your mind? What did I tell you? He said, I'm sorry Guru, you are great. And this mantra is going to make, this mantra with everybody knowing is going to make you greater still. The Guru could not argue with that. Guru had to keep quiet while he shouted the mantra from the rooftops. Vedanta is like that. Open, freely available. It's a secret only because even when it is told, it is difficult to recognize for want of preparedness. And what is this preparedness, etc.? We will see as the text unfolds. And so therefore, what is the thing to do is to gather and listen to the drum beats. And the drum beats are rhythmic, and in the same way, the text unfolds in an orderly fashion. The drum beats are not random, very rhythmic, and has a beginning, has an end, has a middle, which is very nice. And the drum beats are not like a raga. In the raga there is alap. Alap means improvisation in the beginning. We saw the youngsters do that on this very stage yesterday. There is improvisation and there is testing the limits of the notes, the ornate notes, where it should go, where it should not, everything, very artistically, in a melody, in a raga. Raga takes time, and the raga unfolds in its own way, at its own pace. It cannot be hurried. The drum beat, on the other hand, are little pithy, things. And even if we look at every beat has a name in the music. In Hindustani music, we have like so many names for all the talas. And the beat itself has a name. Dha, dhin, dhin, na, dhin, dhin, na, dha, tin, tin, na, dhin, dhin, na. Like this. The beats have names, and the beats are there. And the beats are not going to elaborate. A beat is just that. It's a beat. Short, pithy, to the point, but hits home because you hit the drum and the beat wakes you up. So it is nice to do Shravanam to the beat of Vedanta and see if we can listen any differently, and see if that listening we can allow it to be transformative. With these words, let us do pravesha, entry into the text. Vedanta Dindimas Tattvam. Why is it sounding like a funeral? Huh? Let's try again. Vedanta Dindimas Tattvam. Kya baat hai? That's much better. Ekamudghoshayanti yat Astam purastat tattejah Dakshinamurti samgitam. Yeah, together. Vedanta dindimas tattvam ekamudghoshayanti yat Astam purastat tattejah Dakshinamurti samgitam. Vedanta Dindimaha. Vedanta Dindimaha means many, many drum beats, plural. So the drum beats of Vedanta, and then what is that? The Ekam Tattvam Yat Udghoshayanti. This is how we make the poetry into prose. It is called Anvaya. This is the Anvaya. So, Vedanta Dindimaha, the drum beats of Vedanta, simple sentence, Vedanta Dindimaha Udghoshayanti, declare. Ghoshayanti, declare. Udghoshayanti, declare from, with conviction. From the bottom of the heart, with total conviction. Full-throatedly declare. So, Vedanta Dindimaha Udghoshayanti. Always catch the verb. And then you can catch the sentence very easily. So, in the present, anything that has an ending ti, taha, anti would be verb. So, where is there that? Yes. Udghoshayanti. So, Udghoshayanti, declare full-throatedly. So it's plural. So, what are declaring? The drum beats of Vedanta make a full-throated declaration. What do they declare? The object of the declaration will be in the second case, and that will, if it is a ending noun, it will all be what? Tattvam. Ekam. Ekam tattvam. Tattvam. Ekam. Ekam means what? 3. Right? No, 1. Okay. Just checking. So, Ekam, 1. Tattvam. Tat means that. Okay. The word tat literally means that. What is that? That which is not this. What is this that which is not this? This means which is right here, right now. This pair of glasses, this book, this microphone, and this weird little thing, whatever this is. Looks like a guard in the Buckingham Palace, the hat. And then this glass, this microphone, this table. This means I got it. It's in the bag. It's with me. This. This means that which is not remote is called this. This. Whereas the preposition that is used for things far away. That door, that clock, those lights, that light, that corner of the room, auditorium. So you see the difference between that and this? This is near me. This is understandable. This is objectifiable. That is always paroksha, remote, far away. Somewhere I have to search. This is the opposite of paroksha. What is that? Very good. But, don't get all Vedantin on me. Pratyaksha. We'll come to that. So, Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means immediately objectified. Pratyaksha. Immediately object. I see this. I hear this. I pick up the smell of this. I touch this. I taste this. They are all objects of the means of knowledge which are given to me, called directly perceived. So that which is far away may be directly perceived, but it takes time. It takes time to know. Remote. Paroksha. Certain things that are paroksha before, later become pratyaksha. I see somebody coming there, and maybe the lighting is not good. So I go like this, there is a glare, I can't see them. That person is what? Somebody who entered is pratyaksha or paroksha? Paroksha. Then they walk into the hall, then I say, oh, it's you. What did they become? Pratyaksha. Whole world is like this, divided. Pratyaksha, paroksha, pratyaksha, paroksha. Paroksha becoming pratyaksha. And some things are nitya paroksha. Always paroksha. Like what? Swarga, heaven. Heaven is nitya paroksha. You'll never find out what heaven is like. Even if somebody is there amongst us who is heaven returned, Maya Devi, goddess Maya, has taken care of the memories at birth. So they will not remember. And so therefore, certain things are nitya paroksha. And now, if we go and ask the question, is the Atma pratyaksha or paroksha? We can say paroksha. See, there is already kotidvayam, 2 groups. 2 groups are there. Some people say, I am for pratyaksha. Another group can say, I say it is paroksha. We can examine both of them. Pratyaksha means it should be available for a means of knowledge which I operate, such as perception. We already discussed that. Direct perception. Inference. What is inference? Wherever there is smoke, complete the sentence. There is fire. Inference. Did I see the fire? No. What did I see? Smoke. But I have a basis to make that inference. When I was on the cell phone talking animatedly and I burnt the dinner, Pakashala, kitchen. And I didn't see the fire either because I was not in the kitchen. I just put something to cook and then I started to talk on the telephone, play a game, watch TV, something I was doing, preoccupied. And then first I smell it. I don't say that smells like fire. What do I say? That smells like smoke. And then I see it. Suddenly there is a big screen of smoke coming from all, billowing from the kitchen, going in all directions. Then I say, oh no, the dinner caught fire. This is called anumana, one-step inference. But inference is finely tuned and refined. We have multi-step inference, known as arthapatti. Anyatha upapattau. No other way it is possible except through these steps. Every parent of a teenager is an expert in operating arthapatti pramana. Where were you? You were supposed to be home 2 hours ago. Where were you? Teenager says, oh, I was with such and such a friend. You were not because I called them. You were not there. No. She and I, we went over there somewhere. I called that one too. You were not there either. This is multi-step inference. I know where you were. Why? Because I took all the steps to find out. After calling all your friends and finding out you were not there with them, the only other explanation is that you must be with a new love interest. Yeah. This is every parent is an expert in this multi-step inference. One step is not enough. If there is smoke, there is fire. One step. If the roads are wet, then, it was raining. One step. But if we look at a complex medical advancement, then you see that there are many, many steps. And of course, our stock example is what? Devadatta does not eat during the day. And he's watched. He doesn't eat at all. After 1 month, he's put on the weighing scale. And the fellow has actually gained a pound. What do we conclude? Did you see him eat at night? No. This is what multi-step inference. We have 2 steps here. He doesn't eat, step number 1. And then, what is step number 2? Step number 2, he hasn't lost weight. Step number 2 is not he eats at night. Who said that? Come and see me after class. So, step number 2 is he eats. Step number 2 is he is not losing weight. This is multi-step inference. Then we have another way of knowing. And what is that? That is comparison. You look at a known entity and then you describe the known entity to the person using a reference point. That entity is known to you, but it's not known to the other person. A bison is like a cow, but with a different kind of horns. So when you see bison, you say, oh, this must be bison. Upama. Not what you have for breakfast. And then we have also the final means of knowledge called what is anupalabdhi, cognition of absence. Is there a pot in my hand? No. How do you know? You can't see it? So then that would be pratyaksha. Why have an extra one? Why have an extra means of knowledge? Means of knowledge are not redundant. Each one is a king in its own area. Is there a pot in my hand? No. Everybody is very clear about no. And then so, what makes you say there is no pot in the hand? Yeah, the pot is in the head, and the pot that is in the head is not in the hand. Ultimately, everything is based on pratyaksha. That's why it's called direct perception. But this is anupalabdhi. For this means of knowledge to work, we have to answer two questions. What is absent and where is it absent? Then only this pramana works. What and where? Is there a pot? That is what? What is the pot? And where is the hand? Place. The locus of absence and the thing that is absent, both must be really prominently featured in the operation of this means of knowledge. So then we have these means of knowledge which help us to look at what is paroksha, what is pratyaksha, and some things that are earlier earlier paroksha, then becoming pratyaksha. But when the time comes to look at the Atma, then immediately, like some of us concluded here, we say it is what? Paroksha. Paroksha means what? Remote. The Atma talked about in the Upanishad as free, without sorrow, without fear, glorious. I don't know where it is. The I that I encounter is the one full of complaints. Every day a new updated list of complaints. Oh, that's not bad, because that means the previous list is not there. No, that's why I said updated. Previous list will also be there. And then updated new complaints will also be there. And what is the first new complaints? The previous complaints haven't been taken care of. That's the first new complaint. Series of complaints. And so I only know the complaining I. I only know the jaded, faded, helpless jiva, full of peeves, piva. That's who I know. And here the Upanishad paints a picture. Satchidananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Shantam, Nitya Buddha Mukta Shuddha Atma, ever free, ever pure, untainted by sorrow, anger, fear, pain, affliction, mortality. Of course it will feel paroksha. But then, is the I paroksha? No, because whenever I am asked the question, what is the question? Are you here? Very good. What is the answer? Yeah. Yes. Even if I say no, That's like a child hiding under the bed and saying, I'm not hiding under the bed. In saying, it is advertising its presence. It's an I that can never be denied. It's an I that is never absent. But yet I cannot say it is pratyaksha. This is to the people who were saying, who were on the side of Atma is pratyaksha. It's not pratyaksha because it is not an object of direct perception. In fact, the Atma is the one that is perceiving, perceiver. Later on we'll be told it is not separate from that which is perceived also. And so it is not pratyaksha because I don't depend on my eyes to see the Atma. Seer is Atma. I don't depend on the ears to hear the Atma. The one that is hearing is Atma. Hearer, heard, hearing, everything is Atma. And so it is not pratyaksha. Can I say it is paroksha? It is far away? No. Why can't I say that? Because I know I am. Don't ask the next question, who am I? Don't ask that. Then we'll be here forever. They used to say, they said that Albert Einstein, was fond of talking to people to overcome his problems whenever he ran into some problems with the equations. Everything he was doing in his head, and he was fond of an audience. But as soon as he started to talk, people would run away because he would never stop talking. Even the friends would just go away. So in order for them to make them stay, he got into the habit of holding the coat button of his friends and then talking. Complaining. I'm not able to understand this. I don't know why this equation is not working. I stayed up all night and worked. Do you think I should do this? I've been working so hard. Do I have to change something? Where should I change? This is all he's saying. And so one winter morning, he caught hold of his friend or another scientist or some person he could catch hold of, who's wearing a double-breasted overcoat, big buttons. He clutched on to one button and started to talk. And the gentleman had a small blade with him. Sawed off the button with the blade. He kept on holding the button. He went, delivered his lecture, that gentleman friend, and did his shopping, and then came back the same way in the evening, and Einstein was still holding the button and talking. This is the Jiva's lot. So many complaints, not enough time. And then I know I can't say I am remote. I can't say I am paroksha. Everything is evident to me. My complaints, my fears, my pains, my sorrows, my joys, in the few times that I can think of them and feel them, it's evident to me. And I can't say it is I am paroksha. I can't say I am pratyaksha. Now we are in a fix. So therefore, the Shastra has a special word. The word paroksha, remote, is negated with the help of the nanj particle, the negative particle a. A plus paroksha. What is that? Aparoksha. Nitya aparoksha atma. That which is never, ever, ever remote. Never was remote. Neither it is a product of my sense perception or my inference or my buddhi or my mind, nor is it so far away from me that it is unknowable. It is never remote. It is because of whose presence, it is because of which I, the buddhi works, the mind works, the senses work, the thinking works, prana works, digestion works, everything works when? All the time. That here is referred to by the word Tat. Why? We know now it is Nitya Aparoksha. Why does the Shastra use the word Tat? Shastra is kind. Shruti is like 1,000 functional mothers. We have to add the word functional these days. Functional and unconditionally loving mothers. If you can visualize one and multiply that by 1,000, that is how much daya the Shruti has. And she goes along with where one is. Because if she hits us right in the beginning with Nitya Aparoksha Atma, Apahata Papma, Nitya Aparoksha Atma, if she did that, then we would be very much in distress. We would not know where to go, what to do, how to understand. She goes along with the ignorance. She plays the game with us and says, let us just go with the working knowledge that you have. And what is that? Brahman, which is Atma. Brahman is another synonym for Atma. We'll see all that. This Brahman is so far away. I'm pining for this Brahman. Ishvara, I, Atma. I don't know where to look for it. And the Shruti says, let's go with that. Okay. Where do you think it is? I don't know. Tat Brahma. That Brahman, I don't know where it is. And the Shastra makes the word Tat into an abstract noun by adding the suffix Tvam. Tvam here doesn't mean you. Tva is the abstract suffix. Tattva. Tat, that. Tattva, thatness. Thatness? Yes, thatness. Tattva. Thatness means the essence of whatever that is that I am seeking to know. As what? This. You can never use the word that and this in one sentence. Never ever. How can you do that? I can't say that door is this table. Makes no sense. People will say, in the first lecture she sounded okay. Now something happened. Abhi kuch ho gaya hai. That clock is this jar. I can't say that. It makes no sense. Unless I'm referring to the same thing in different guises, disguises. Unless. Another Devadatta we can resurrect. If we need one person in the Shastra, stock name, what do we say? Devadatta. If we need another fellow, what do we say? Somadatta. Here we need one more fellow, please. Yajnadatta. 3 Dattas, best of friends. Then what? Yajna and Somu kept in touch with one another, had a unremarkable upbringing and went to college, and even Devu was also with them all this time. After college, Devu seems to have dropped out. No sign of him. Nowhere. Where is Devu? They thought about it. Letters went unanswered. Nobody wrote back. Nobody got in touch. They forgot about him. They went on with their lives. They married. They had children. Children became teenagers. That's when the Bhagavad Gita starts to attract. Finally, one is ready. because nothing one can control. A Swami rolls into town, and then Yajna and Somu decide to attend the pravachan, the discourse, because they think, well, we really need it. We are tired and worn out. And they really enjoy the lecture. They go there, they are just so happy. But Somu feels a little distracted by looking at the Swami. Somewhere something is so familiar about this Swami. What is this? And they are in the prasad line to receive prasad. And Somu is racking his brains, half listening to what Yajna is saying. Then finally they are having close darshan of the Swami. They are right in front of him. Swami is giving out apples. And then peering in the Swami's face, Somu gets very excited. Somu says, Yajna, you know, that Devu is this Swami. See how that and this used easily in a sentence, in the same sentence, referring to the same object, very easily. What did the Swami say? Shh, don't out me. So, same. Tat deshakala vishishta devadatta. Devu is what? Etat kala desha vishishta. So that Devadatta, who was climbing mango trees and stealing the fruit of other people, who was mischievous, who used to tie people's shoelaces together and watch them fall, that Devadatta is what? Tat deshakala vishishta. Vishishta means qualified, as it were, by these antics, by that time, by that place, college, place, that time of, early adulthood, is what? Etad deshakala vishishtaha eva Swamin. Now he is what? He is in a different disguise. So is Devadatta known? Yes. But up till now, what was he? Unknown. The unknown Devadatta, referred to as that Devadatta, is now known as what? This Swami. Similarly, the unknown Ishvara, that Brahman, who I have no idea where it is, what it is, how it is owned up as this I. That is why Tattvam, thatness. And when I say thatness, now you can understand what is included in thatness. The whole story of the journey of Devadatta is included in thatness. So thatness, not Devadatta's journey, but what it stands for. That is what is included in this. What it stands for. Darshtanta. And what is it that is exemplified? That which is exemplified is the fact that I don't know the Atma for want of recognition, for want of an appropriate means of knowledge to understand the I. Because it is not pratyaksha and it is not paroksha. For paroksha, I can use inference, I can use multi-step inference, I can use anupalabdhi. For pratyaksha, I can use all the things that I have, other means of knowledge, perception, etc. But it is neither pratyaksha nor paroksha. It is nitya aparoksha. What can I do to this? This is not something to gain because it is not away from me. It is something to understand. It is something to recognize as the truth of myself. That is why Tattvam, the essence of that, the truth of that, the truth of that which I consider to be far away, that is called Tattvam. And how many are there? How many Tattvams are there? Only one. Ekameva Advitiyam. We don't even say one, because one can be half Tattvam, quarter Tattvam. It's like infinitely fragmentable. One. Non-dually one. So the drum beats, the many, many, many drum beats, 95 drum beats we are going to be, are there in this book. We can't see all of them, but the 95 drum beats, all of them, they just unfold, they just cry out, they just declare one Tattvam. That is the meaning of the first line. What is the Tattvam? Then the Tattvam, so we have to find a word that qualifies Tattvam. What does the word Tattvam end in? So in the second line, find the word that ends in and tell me what it is. Dakshinamurti Samgitam. One word. So that Tattvam is Samgitam. Samgitam means indicated. Indicated. Indicated by what? The word Dakshinamurti is indicated by the word Dakshinamurti. It's amazing, very beautiful. It's like the word Dakshinamurti is like a shorthand for Bhagavan, shorthand for Tattvamasi. It's just beautiful. We'll look into that word. So the Tattvam, now we know, the Tattvam has a name, and the Tattvam has the word Dakshinamurti after it. That is the Tattvam, known by the word Dakshinamurti. That is the Tattvam. And then there is a prayer, because the first verse of every work is a prayer. It is in fact said, if somebody has not included a prayer, may that book not be studied. Duryodhana wrote a book on dharma. Apparently. But it is lost. Why? There was no prayer. He only knew how to P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y. Therefore, Ajabhakshitam. It became goat food. Yeah. Because leaves, in olden times they wrote in leaves. So you can't always write that which you do not practice. Except books on Hinduism. Somehow that seems to be an exception. Most of it, at least until recently, are written by non-practitioners. So here there is a prayer. Purastat means in front. Pashchatat, behind. Adhastat, below. Uparishtat, above. Aage, piche, upar, niche. All these various directions. Purastat, in front. Astam, may it remain right in the front and center of what? Of this pursuit, of my pursuit. May what remain? This thing called Tattvam, which is Ekam and which is denoted by the word Dakshinamurti. May that remain right in the center of my awareness and as the central piece of what is going to be unfolded through these verses, through these phrases. So what should remain? Tat Tejaha, the radiance of that which goes by the name of Dakshinamurti. Radiance means self-effulgence. Self-effulgence means self-evident. Self-evident I. All other radiance is borrowed. Borrowed. Borrowed radiance. That the only radiance that is not borrowed is I. And it is talked of as radiance and light metaphorically because it brings every single thing to light. Purastat astam tat tejah, tasya tejah, tat tejah. Here tat doesn't mean Brahman. Tat means here it's. That which is denoted by the Lord Dakshinamurti, that radiance, may that permeate, may that be the ulka. Ulka means what? You take a stick, put some cloth, dip it in oil and you light it up. Ulka it's called. Torch, like, there's firebrand it's called, firebrand. So, when you go out in the night, you carry this is the metaphor, you carry that where? Not behind you, not pashchatat, where? Purastat. And then you can see, if there is a tiger, then you just make it confused, go like this, it will run away. Hopefully, yeah. Then you see, then it helps you to see the slithering sarpa, snake, and then you sidestep, avoid, let it go. Then it helps you to see a screeching bird that was just disturbed, harmless, but gave a scare anyway. It helps you to see all the things that are obstacles. It helps you to see the way to the destination. And here, my friends, the destination happens to be the way and happens to be never away from you. But still, we make it like a journey, a so-called journey, an inward journey. And so here, may this radiance of self-knowledge guide me to understand that I am non-separate from Dakshinamurti. And then right in the first verse itself we have a Mahavakya. And what is this Dakshinamurti? We'll see next time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadagya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.